In San Francisco, Sutro Tower is crucial for telecommunications in the city, and it needs our help. 977 feet up in the air.
It's going to require some rope access.
Stand by.
Our challenge, inspect the key cable junctions without getting a radiation overdose from all the antennas.
Your eyes will start sweating. You'll feel it heating you up from the inside.
And in Oregon, flames have engulfed this road and put it in the line of fire.
It's a valley of death.
We're talking about rocks the size of your car coming down and going through the road. It's pretty scary.
We're going to rope up and kick down some loose boulders.
This is an asteroid alley.
It's gonna come down. It's not if, it's just when.
Is that radio?
Alan's going, rock, 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 rock.
We need to get this road back open without killing ourselves in the process. I'm Trask Bradbury.
How you doing?
My full-time business is heights, and my daily office looks a little different than most. I travel the world to tackle jobs no one else can reach, but we can by rope.
The physics of it can really put someone who's new to this in a real pickle.
Get out of here, get out of here. Run, run, run.
We're at the end of the rope.
San Francisco, Sutro Tower. At 977 feet tall, it's the highest point in the city and the telecommunication beacon for the area.
We're supposed to have rain, and the forecast looks bleak.
Weather is always an issue in San Francisco, especially when hanging off a 1,000-foot structure.
I've been on this tower one other time, and I gotta tell you, it is one impressive structure. It is a behemoth.
They need me to inspect the tension cables on the tower. If these fail, the structure will twist and the antennas could collapse, raining down shrapnel on the houses below. The challenge: get out there and finish the job before the fog rolls in and wipes out all visibility. In and out, just under 4 hours.
It's definitely out there in space, so it's gonna require some rope access.
We're being greeted by David, the company rep here. He knows everything about the tower.
Sutro Tower is one of the real remarkable towers and structures in the city. You can see it from all over the Bay Area. And at first it was an eyesore. People couldn't stand it. And then it became iconic and people love it.
Construction lasted 2 years. Completed in 1973, it's vital to the city, transmitting across the region.
There are 10 TV stations, there are radio stations, there are state and local and federal agencies on it. There's first responders. It's 3.5 million pounds of steel, and the 3 legs are buried in 5 million pounds of cement each. So the center of gravity is actually below ground.
I've worked on lots of towers over the years, but Sutro's totally a different beast.
It's awfully high.
She is big. She's a beauty, though, huh?
I usually work on projects with my own crew, but Sutro's a unique challenge. So today, I'm leading a top-notch team who have all worked on this structure before. I met Julio the first time I was at Sutro, and we've kept in touch ever since.
Let's do it.
Not just a pretty face.
There's Cody. I trained him on rope safety down in his home state of Texas. And Cody's dad, John Paul Jones, a tower veteran.
For a tower guy, Sutro is like the bucket list tower to work on. Yeah, Trask and I worked together. I had a project in Omaha, Nebraska in 2012, and we've been working together ever since. He's the best, yeah. Sutro is standing on a piece of steel that's 10 feet wide and 1,000 feet tall. It gets real quick. A few times it's been struck by lightning while we're on the tower, and you don't want to go there, ever.
Sutro is struck by lightning over 100 times a year. Fingers crossed. Hopefully no thunderstorms today. But there's one unavoidable danger here. Radio frequency, or RF, emitted from the antennas. If you get too close to these radiating hotspots, it's like being trapped in a microwave.
Let's just quickly have a conversation about today's events. We're gonna be doing an inspection of the connections on those cables between 6 and 5.
If these cable junctions fail, Thousands of people who live nearby could be hit by debris falling off the structure.
Up at level 6, you guys have a hard time hearing us through the radios. There's just a lot of interference, a lot of RF up there.
We've got a monitor with us, but at any point in time, should that exceed the allowable dosage, we're gonna pull away. What are the tolerances here?
200%, up to 5 minutes.
The RF levels are so high and concentrated that radio frequency monitors are a must.
As long as you stay above 5, you should be fine.
Okay. Another factor is weather. Wet surfaces can be slippery, especially if that surface has a lot of dust or any type of, buildup on it. So if the rain picks up and it starts to get excessive, let's pull away and wait for some weather to break. That's pretty much it. Move slow and steady. Take our time. We're gonna do buddy checks, things like that. I'm just getting everything ready to go, but yeah, that's your harness right here.
Yes, sir.
We quickly gear up.
Descender.
This descender will attach to our main rope and clip into our harness, allowing us to safely lower where we need to go. We check our harnesses, and now we pack up rope.
Okay. 2 sets of ropes in there, flaked and ready to pull.
Everyone going out will need 2 ropes. One's the primary, and one's the safety. These are nylon core and work well in wet conditions.
Edge Pro.
Weather is definitely a big part of our job. And it's not just rain, it's lightning, sun, heat. It's every little thing in the weather,
Wind is a constant concern. It can push you away from the tower and trap you in outer space.
If you get stuck on your way down and you let go and you're stuck out there, it can be 5, 8, 10 minutes that you're out there literally 40 feet away from the tower until a lull comes and then you come back in.
Cody's strapping on a radio frequency monitor.
It will detect radio frequency that we may or may not be in and let us know if we get into something a little too hot.
The RF monitor is key for this job. Sutro's one big RF hotspot because of all the antennas on it.
It's got little lights and beeps that'll go off. If we hit that 200% mark, we'll start looking to get out of the way. It's kind of like being in a microwave. And people don't do well in a microwave.
We're heading up the tower, hoisted up on a pan. That'll carry everyone going out on ropes.
Slippery.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Copy that. Whoop, coming up and out.
There are over 250 RF emitting antennas on the tower.
Right below 6, those are all the auxiliary antennas.
Yep.
Between 4 and 3, that's the main aux, so that's where all the big stations are at.
We go by the radio frequency hot zones.
When that thing is on, you don't want to be nowhere near that. Looking good, Jake. Passing 5.
We arrive at level 6 and set up our base camp. From here, we'll rappel down to check the key cable junctions between levels 6 and 5. John Paul Jones will be spotting the crew going down on ropes, and he's heading up now in the man lift. It's 27 by 33 inches in size, just slightly bigger than a coffin. It takes 8 minutes to go 750 feet to level 6.
It's gonna take that elevator a while to get up there, so.
Get some ropes rigged up on the city side and do a little inspection of the cable junctions out there in outer space.
This will be the second trip up on this tower.
And you and I, both too.
Yeah, first trip looked just like this too.
These cable junctions are key structural elements of the tower. They're a challenge to access, especially on a windy day.
It's blowing pretty good.
Fog's rolling in, and our time's running out. In San Francisco, the fog's rolling in, and the winds are picking up on the 977-foot tall Sutro Tower.
Yeah, it's blowing pretty good.
But that won't stop our team from going out and inspecting some key cable junctions. I'm rigging things up for Cody to go out first.
What's gonna happen is when we deploy rope, we're gonna see what kind of winds we're dealing with.
The weather's only gonna get worse, so I'm letting Cody go out to do the first drop.
Anything I could do, brother, to help?
Just organizing. Cody attaches his descender to the rope. And I wrap the lines in edge protection, neutralizing the sharp edges.
I pre-installed this Edge Pro, so as you make your way down, you can just pull down the prusik and wrap your ropes in it. After you...
From here, he'll drop 50 feet to his target, right between levels 6 and 5.
We are about ready to launch. Julio's gonna go down to 5, get a hold of the bottom of the ropes, and Julio will just be able to, like, swing Cody right to where he needs to be. Ready, Cody?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's just let this sit here while I do a quick harness check on you. You're gonna use your seat, so that's good.
Cody will need to descend to the cable junctions, fighting the weather and avoiding the RF hotspots. Once he reaches his target, the real work of inspecting the connections begins.
Stand up on the steel for a little bit. Can you see Julio?
Not yet.
He's way down there.
It's got to be blowing at least 20 down there.
All right, buddy, you're ready to go down.
Make sure I'm not twisted. Let me go.
However you want to do it. Yeah, there you go. All right, Julio, he's gonna start descending down to that spot.
Copy that.
All right, buddy. You're ready to go.
Julio grabs Cody's rope and guides him to the cable junctions, all the while fighting against the wind.
You're looking at the new cover of the industrial work catalog.
Cody takes a close look at the cable junctions for wear and tear. He's looking for signs of rust and any cable fraying or loose connections, all the while monitoring radio frequency levels.
Get your freon on that cable.
Any communication structure you're working on, always an RF issue is present, so you want to make sure you're not inside that radiating pattern. Blurry vision, your eyes will start sweating. You'll feel it heating you up from the inside, maybe taste a little bit of copper in your mouth. If it's a cool day and you're starting to feel warm on the inside out, that's an issue.
Nice. Smooth sailing down. Sweet.
Cody's safe. Touchdown on level 5.
Damn, I'm good.
We got lucky with that. With wind like that, we threaded a needle.
The weather's turning from bad to worse. Winds have picked up and the fog's rolling in hard. There's one more cable junction to verify. We saved the hardest one for last, and that's the one I'm going to tackle. JP's up here to spot me.
I'm just trying to get rolling before anything heavy comes in.
I'm descending from level 6 to verify the structural integrity of the cable junctions. 700 feet off the ground. If anything happens to these, heavy debris could fall on the houses surrounding the tower.
It's coming back in. As soon as you get there, you grab your stuff and post up. Looking good!
X marks the spot. I visually inspect them and bounce on the cables to make sure there's no slack.
When the inversion and the soup kind of comes in, it looks like a snowfield out there.
Time's ticking. There's a brief moment before the fog rolls in, and all visibility is wiped out.
And you're just up on cloud 9.
These junctions look solid. Now it's time to get off this structure before I can't see anything.
That is beyond crazy. You know, now the people who work here and the tower workers and the people like Trask, it's a different breed. It's a small community. They all know each other. They all respect and love each other. And none of us civilians really get it.
That's cool.
Top of the world, Ma.
I've known a lot of the tower workers, and they all say the same thing. Once you do it, you can't do anything else.
Awesome day, man. Great work, guys. Great work.
Coming back to Earth after 2 hours up in the sky is a rush.
It went like butter. Super smooth. On this particular tower, when you're this high up, it is just extra special. You couldn't
ask for a better view.
So typically, the Golden Gate Bridge would be on that side there.
It's just beautiful.
We take a moment to swap stories and share photos.
Money, that's you?
That's killer.
No Photoshop, guys. Me on top of the world. Literally, that thing was wobbling like this. It was windy as hell that day. It was just one of the perks of working in a place like this.
No shortage of views.
It's a beautiful city, bro.
Nice work.
Yeah.
Working with Cody again was really sweet. Cody looks like he didn't even skip a beat.
Weather held out for the most part for us. Enough to get done what we need to get done, and no microwaving. Still here for the most part. Maybe not up here.
We're all here because we're not all there, right?
Yeah. Normally people think I'm crazy beforehand. When I tell them what I do, they're a little relieved that that's where the crazy is. Yeah, Dad did it. He got me into it, and something once you start doing it and you like it and you take to it, you can't do anything else. Hard to roll out of bed and get excited about sitting in front of a computer, you know?
Brilliant.
Later, big bear.
It's been an honor to work with these guys on one of America's most iconic structures.
That was awesome.
Another job done. Finished just in time. On to the next one. As I roll out, I notice some missed calls from my business partner, Eric.
That's Eric right there. Sweet. What's up, brother?
He tells me about an urgent job that's come up in Oregon.
Oh, really?
I need to get back to headquarters in Denver now, so we can figure out how to tackle this. I'm at our headquarters in Denver, and my business partner, Eric, briefs me about a high-stakes job. I recently ran a rope safety course for a company that does rockfall mitigation, and they urgently need our help. They're working on a road in Oregon, ravaged by wildfire. They're about to tackle the highest part of the slope, and heights are what we do best. We'll be hanging on ropes and prying off loose rocks, making the road safe so it can reopen. Don't worry, boys. The cavalry's coming. We need to quickly grab some gear before deploying.
Just need one more helmet for this.
Helmets are key for this job. With lots of falling rocks, these will be lifesavers. We need rope too, of course, but there are different kinds of rope.
Sure.
Oh, thanks.
We'll be grabbing some that's got a sheathing made of fabrics used in body armor. This will be essential with all those sharp rocks. All right, ready to roll.
Let's do this.
I'm in the gear truck with all the equipment we'll need for this job. Eric's in another vehicle with our crew, and they'll meet me on site.
We're getting close. I can smell it.
It's early morning. We're heading out to meet up with the local rockfall mitigation crew and figure out how we're going to tackle this beast.
All right, 5:41 a.m.
30 miles south of Portland, Highway 224 is the key access point to the Mount Hood National Forest. For the past year, this road has been closed, devastated by the Riverside fire.
Over 1 million acres burned statewide, 9 lives were lost, and over 4,000 homes and businesses were destroyed.
It burned all the trees up above the slope and compromised the ground. Massive rocks have been raining down on the road ever since, making driving through here impossible.
It's pretty scary.
Really loose rocks and boulders that are just sitting there waiting to go any minute.
It's safe to assume something's gonna happen. I'm always looking up.
Howdy.
Think about a chip on your windshield. That's a little tiny rock. We're talking about rocks the size of this to this to this to, right, huge. And when that projectile comes down, we're talking about a major concern for who's in that vehicle with you.
And that's why my team is here today, to clear out these massive projectiles and make this road safe again. I recently trained this Rockfall mitigation company on rope access safety. I'm bringing in my own crew to reinforce their efforts. We've got Eric, Meg, and Weston. Meg's the only one in my crew who's done this kind of rockfall work before.
Rockfall mitigation is like, you know, you're driving down the highway and you see these like random chains on the side of the rock face.
Adding fences is the last step in a complicated process, but the local team isn't close to that stage. They're still working on clearing the site. My crew is here to help make that happen.
As you guys saw coming in, you see all those big divots in the road.
And the guardrail was pretty hammered.
That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
You see that waterfall, kind of that wet spot up there. You're gonna be up in those pockets in those areas. You'll see anything around the stumps that have caused like the rock or debris to become loose from the fires, from all the heat. They'll be attacking all that.
Before we arrived, this team scouted the area, following a long ridgeline to the summit where we'll be working.
Almost to the top of the hill here.
They brought up all the heavy gear like pry bars and fixed ropes, so there's a more direct route to the top.
Big old street pile of boulders over here. Wow.
These fixed ropes will help us climb 800 feet to the summit. As we ascend, we'll be pushing down rocks that have been loosened by recent rains and could come crashing down without warning.
I'm psyched to watch the guys that I worked with training. I'm psyched to watch them in action.
The work itself is pretty dangerous, and so having a good safety culture is really important.
All jobs start with a safety briefing. This is dangerous work, so we need to be on point.
Let's do this real quick. Someone mentioned poison oak, so...
Tons of it. I'm covered in it.
Eyes peeled for that. This will be our first time integrating with you guys, so good communication, situational awareness.
Something that's kind of important. You never like are above or below when you're sending rocks. You're going together as a team.
I had one yesterday hit a stump, a big rock, and shot 40 yards straight left.
Just be looking after each other, you know. We're all a team out here. We're all brothers and family. We want everybody to come home at the end of the day.
Josh Fisher is the local hill foreman for the Rockfall Mitigation Company.
It's about 4 to 6 foot boulders we're working on right now, and when they come down, they make a nice hole in the road.
Time to get serious.
Listen and look.
Copy that.
Any screw up here could be deadly. A massive wildfire recently ripped through this national forest in Oregon, destabilizing the cliffs. Now trees and massive rocks rain down on the road below. My team is here to climb this slope and pry off loose rocks.
Let me go get this set up.
Okay, yeah.
We're here working with this local Rockfall crew to clean up this mess.
One big burnt tree, that's where we're all headed.
Okay.
This rope has a synthetic sheathing with protective fibers, also used in body armor. It's essential for a job like this, where many sharp hazards could cut your rope.
It's about an hour of steep hill climbing in sort of what I would call a shooting gallery.
As you climb, you kick up rock. It could take out others on the hill, or smash down and wipe out those on the road.
Everything on a scaling job is a danger.
We'll be using 4-foot-long steel scaling bars.
A scale bar is basically just a giant crowbar that you'll just wedge the rocks out and send them down to the bottom of the road. Good? Oh, thanks, Dad.
We're lugging up these haul bags, loaded down with rope, water, and food. It makes a tough climb even harder.
I hate hiking.
What, really?
Yeah. That's why I got into rope access, dude. I just want to hang on a rope.
Weston's the youngest member of our team, only 26 years old.
We're sending down rocks all over the place, so definitely a heads-up hike.
This is Weston's first time working a rockfall site.
Didn't know anything about this.
Wow. He's young.
there's a lot. You can see there's like a gray one going up there, and then another one going that way.
These fixed lines put in place by the local crew will aid our climb, but it's still going to be a tough ascent. Like me, Eric's seen it all. He knows if you're not careful, each job could be your last.
Really, if it's not right, it's wrong. Whatever you don't see is gonna kill you.
We have to make our way up this steep slope, hitting a couple of rest stops as we ascend. Then a big push, 500 more feet to the summit.
Packed a bunch of waters. Radio check.
Radio check.
Doing this?
It's a valley of death.
Everybody ready?
Tell us we safe up there.
Thanks, Chris.
Some of the local crew will remain down on the ground, monitoring the cleanup. Others will be leading the way up the hill. They laid the lines and know the route.
Alrighty, let's do this.
Eric leads our team up the highly unstable and steep terrain.
Yeah, going that way. And then Jake left. We're good.
Want to press on, Eric, or what do you think?
Let's do it, I guess.
Meg, you can go, because I'm going to go slow and bring up the rear.
All right, I'm going up.
You all right, Meg?
Pebbles.
Slow and steady. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I'm used to terrain like this from my years of climbing.
Almost every climb we've ever done in our life has an approach like this.
Rocks.
Since the wildfires were extinguished, ground foreman Chris has been working this site.
You can see where this saddle is right here. They're gonna be another 700 feet up past that there.
Rocks, rocks, rocks!
A snake? Snakes, ticks, poison ivy.
The local crew, which is hiking above us, keeps kicking down rocks into our path. It's kind of unavoidable with this terrain, but it's getting dicey.
I'm not the keenest on the little shooting gallery here. You get to film the rock that takes your camera out.
Heads!
So it's like the sacrificial GoPro, huh?
Chris monitors our progress from the ground and waves through construction crews when it's safe to pass.
Yes, sir, I am down here in the middle. On a slope like this, you'll get rocks come down, random rock fall, and you always have to be on your toes everywhere you're at, you know, constantly watching your overhead.
That looks like it's sitting on ball bearings.
Which one? Oh, that guy?
With the dark stain on it.
We see a big rock that could fall at any time.
Go kick it. Is there anyone below us?
This rock has fractured off, and there's no soil holding it in place. It needs to go before we can keep moving up the slope.
Fellas on the hill, zone is clear. You are free to send your rocks.
Our scaling bars are already at our work site way up near the summit, so Josh Fisher from the local crew will have to kick this one down.
There she goes. Meg, watch! Oh, there it goes!
Herby!
Hole in a china shop! Nice send.
Yeah, let's clean it. You got goggles? I got some earplugs in here.
This boulder is still huge when it hits the road, so Josh Murphy, the local crew boss, is throwing in some dynamite to fracture the rock. Then they can clear it from the road so other construction crews can pass.
We'll yell fire in the hole, we'll get back over there, and then should just fracture and pop it, so we'll see if it does anything. Preparing to fire. Firing. Perfect. After that, I think another 30 minutes, we should be knocking rocks down, I hope. Maybe 40. We're almost there.
These rocks remind me of the butterfly effect, where it's like a tiny little rock just makes us bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Like an oak. Trask, I'd call this a problem.
There's loose rock, and then there's this.
Yeah, this is an asteroid alley.
I know that, like, we do worse stuff than this on the weekends, but this kinda ain't the weekends.
Everyone on the radios are like, oh boy.
I'm really not super keen on any of this.
Rock, rock!
That one's going rock, 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 rock!
Did that come close to someone?
Came close to Weston.
We're hanging off the side of a mountain that's been decimated by wildfires, and it's getting real. Eric and I don't like where this is headed.
It's like, there's Rockfall, and there's this.
This is an asteroid alley.
The local crew that's climbing ahead of us is kicking up a bunch of rocks, and it's not safe for my team to be behind them.
Josh is right over here.
Yeah, I see him.
Josh, everyone hold up right there. We're having a little team meeting.
I radio Josh, the hill foreman, to stop hiking up. His crew isn't doing anything wrong. This terrain is just that dangerous. But my team shouldn't be in the line of fire. I call Josh over and we figure out a solution.
We could just travel up together in unison.
You guys just stay tight. I'll come in last.
All right, all set.
Now that we don't have rocks heading straight for us, we get back on track and push for the summit.
Yeah, this looks like the best way right here. I'm glad we sussed that out.
We reach another set of ropes, leading us to the final ascent.
All right, you ready to go?
Yep.
We're like Batman and Robin.
Man, this stuff is way better. Solid rock.
Head up a little further.
You can toss that down.
Which one? Oh, that guy? Yeah.
Daddy's getting back in shape, boys. He might actually be able to play baseball with the kids one day.
We've been climbing for 2 hours, and finally, we're near our work site at the summit. Soon, we'll be using scaling bars to pry off the most dangerous boulders on this mountain.
This is gorgeous, man. God's country.
Yeah, I'm having fun again. Oh my God, getting up here though. I was sweating bullets the whole way up here.
We're almost there.
Copy that. Fellas on the hill, zone is clear of all personnel and equipment. You are clear to scale.
Copy, clear.
Time to start knocking down these boulders.
One of our guys and you working on this patch, and then one of our guys working on the other side, right? Did you re-rig your rope? You pulled it up?
We sling our ropes around trees and then lower ourselves into place so we can start scaling.
Here, I thought I wasn't gonna get to have any fun today.
Famous last words.
As we head down, we'll use the pry bars to release any boulders that look threatening.
Scale on. All right, let's do some clearing.
Meg and Weston work closely with the local crew.
We've been joking around about how Eric and Trask are like dad and like weekend dad.
Eric and I keep a close watch on the team.
Sounds like a bunch of dishes.
Yeah.
Last time I ever let you in the kitchen.
Weston, Eric's gonna give you some slack in your belay line so you have more distance.
All right, let me just get this guy first. It's like loose and needs to go out.
It seems like controlled chaos, but every rock we get down now is one less to worry about when the road reopens.
Oh, Weston hooked one.
Weston, you having fun over there?
Here she comes, man. Here she comes.
Be careful. Oh yeah, let's get out of here. Get out of here. Run, run, run. Ah, man, we were totally fine too right there, but I wasn't taking no chances. Get your heart going.
When things finally settled down on the ground, Meg keeps slinging some loose rocks.
We're getting there. She's gonna go. Okay, here we go. Move. And.
There he goes. Yeah. Yeah, boy.
I'm going hurt. Hi-yo!
Teamwork.
Oh, that one's going in the river. That thing took a bounce off that ridge line. Little dusty. Bam!
We've been going full tilt up here for hours, and we've knocked down the biggest boulders. But then I noticed something that no one can see from the ground.
Oh, there's the log jam. That lawn dart of the tree that went straight in.
Halfway down the slope, some fallen trees have created a natural dam, and rocks are getting trapped behind it. That whole thing could collapse and cause a rock slide that will crash down the hill. I alert Josh Murphy, the local boss down on the ground.
Josh, we've got an issue. That's just cat litter held in by Elmer's glue right there.
Oh, yeah.
When those timbers dislodge, the rock slide will take out the road and everyone working on it. We have to deal with this fast. We're almost done clearing the boulders high up on this hill in Oregon, ravaged by wildfire. But I've seen something up here I don't like, and I've let Josh, the local crew boss, know.
There's not much meat holding them in on either side of that.
I see what's going on. It must have settled up in that saddle on all that debris.
Yeah, copy. Recon.
And you look up top, there's a log jam. They're scaling on top of that. And so some of the big rocks were going over it, some are impacting it. All that small stuff just trickles and piles up in those pockets. And all that debris is gonna come down.
Yep.
I wanna get an assessment of that. So where's my drone pilot?
I need Josh to get a closer look at what I suspect is going on up here.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that shows a lot better color of what's going on in there.
What he sees isn't good.
The tree that's angled over, kind of to the right, that was sticking straight up. So as we scale, we're undermining the material around it, so it's kind of starting to slide down. You're thinking almost like when you're in the ocean and you get those riptides. When you're on that dirt, that's what that's gonna feel like coming down. It grabs a hold of you, it's just gonna rip that rope you right down the slope.
Go for T.
Pretty much, you have that one tree that's in the ground, just kind of holding that up. And it could all just come down.
Copy that. Everyone hold up right there.
In 3 hours, we managed to knock down the biggest boulders. Now we have another challenge, getting off this slope without disturbing the logjam below us. If it gives, it could take us down with it.
It's not a question of if it comes down, it's when it comes down, and we just don't want the when to be somebody's life was lost because we didn't take care of this.
Now for the hardest part of the day, going down.
Rock! Hi, Josh, rope's clear.
Rock!
When you're hiking down, everything wants to come out from underneath you.
Hey, we got little pebbles coming.
It's hard on the knees, hard on the ankles, just slipping and sliding.
Rock, rock, rock. Who would have thought rocks were such a smooth ride down? We're at the end of the rope, Meg. Everybody evaded injury today, so that's job well done.
Mission accomplished. We knocked down the biggest boulders from the highest spot, and everyone's back on the ground safely.
Yeah, let's go back to HQ over there and we'll just de-rig.
Yeah, let's go do it.
A lot of respect for those guys. They're definitely cowboys.
Hauling us uphill and then sliding down.
Brask said there was something on my face. I don't know.
Got some binos too, I can take a look at it.
After a quick cleanup, I take Josh Murphy up the road for a different vantage point. We need to get a better look at this logjam to understand just how big of a threat it is.
definitely a better spot.
Let's go look at it.
Just a looming death block.
Yeah. I just don't think they're gonna hold.
Warm and fuzzy feelings, that's all we want.
I know. Can't pry those loose, so we're gonna have to go in there and I think blast those out of there.
This is a very unique environment. This is just so many moving parts. You have to go slow.
No, absolutely.
Things happen. When in doubt, suss it out.
With the big boulders now down, the local crew is going to figure out a way to take out that log jam. It's going to take weeks of careful preparation, but I'm sure they'll get it done. One thing's certain, leaving that log jam up there isn't an option.
It makes me nervous all the time. It's mommies and minivans.
While we're out on another job, I get a call from Josh.
What's up, Josh?
How's it going?
Good.
Looks like field work.
That's right.
Yeah, so what I can do is give you guys an update. So, here, look at this.
After lots of planning and site preparation, they managed to blow up the log jam.
Sounds fun. Thanks, bye. It's pretty sweet.
High five.
With the log jam down, they're now hanging up fences on the cliff face. It's one great leap forward on the long journey back to reopening this road.